saying that she feared not just losing her job, actually, but her life. Now, under cross, the defense suggested that she made up her sexual abuse claims. We heard a lot from the former assistant, known to the public only under a pseudonym, Mia. She recounted more instances of abuse, of blackmail. The jury also saw several social media posts showing Mia praising Diddy even after the alleged sexual assaults.
It was supposed to be just another ordinary day. The maid, who had worked quietly and diligently for years inside Sean Diddy Combs' sprawling estate, had seen things, heard things that might raise eyebrows, but never enough to make her speak out. Until now, in a shocking twist that has sent ripples across the entertainment world, the woman who had remained anonymous for years finally broke her silence. And what she described finding in Diddy's trash has left a nation gasping.
Diddy, he was back in Miami, trying to get Cassie to talk after she found out that he had been with another woman. Mia testified that Diddy flooded her with threatening text messages. Before the defense took their shot, Mia had a lot more to say about Diddy's threats. She described one trip that she and Cassie took to South Africa, a trip that quickly turned dark.
Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
Saying that Diddy threatened to tell Cassie what he had done to Mia, as if the alleged sexual abuse was somehow Mia's fault or that she was a willing participant. He was threatening my job, and then he threatened to kill me. Now, Mia claimed that Diddy was to blackmail her on that very same trip.
The former employee who worked in Diddy's home in Los Angeles for over 4 years says the final straw came when she uncovered a collection of items discarded so carelessly they seemed almost planted, except they weren't. They were real, and she couldn't ignore them any longer. It wasn't just one thing, she began in a quiet, almost trembling voice during an exclusive interview. It was a pattern. Something felt very wrong in that house for a long time. But that day, I saw something I'll never forget. According to her statement, among the debris were a set of torn photographs, images she claims showed individuals in compromising positions, some of whom she recognized as famous names. I shouldn't have looked, I know that, she admits. But they weren't hidden. They were just there, in the open, like someone wanted them gone fast. Alongside the photographs, she found what she described as burned fragments of clothing, women's accessories scorched and shredded, and a handwritten note that included disturbing language she hesitated to repeat. It wasn't a single moment that made her go public, she clarified, but the weight of many unsettling discoveries. I had cleaned up so many messes, she said, pausing to collect herself. Messes no one was supposed to know about. Things broken in anger, screams in the middle of the night, guests sneaking out through back exits with tears in their eyes, and always silence. For her, the silence became unbearable. Her story has now become part of a growing storm surrounding the music mogul who has been facing mounting allegations in recent months. While Diddy has consistently denied all wrongdoing, claiming to be the victim of a media witch hunt, the former maid's testimony adds a chilling new dimension to the public narrative. What she found, she says, wasn't just disturbing, it was dark. The trash bin in question wasn't even in the main house, she noted, but in a secluded guest unit Diddy rarely allowed staff to enter. That day, she was called to clean the unit in a rush after a last-minute guest had stayed overnight. She followed her instructions and found the usual: linens to wash, glasses to collect, towels on the floor. But when she went to empty the wastebasket, everything changed. There, mixed with the typical household trash, was what looked like an ash-covered wig, a cracked cell phone snapped clean in two, and a prescription bottle with the label scratched off. It was like someone had a meltdown, she said, and they tried to make it disappear. She took a photograph of the scene, unsure of what to do, and left the rest untouched. I knew if I said something then, it might be my job, or worse. So I kept quiet, until now. As her revelations began making the rounds on social media, public reaction was swift. Hashtags exploded across Twitter, with number Diddy exposed and number Maid confession trending within hours. Some accused her of making it up, of clout chasing, of trying to sell a story. But others weren't so quick to dismiss her words. Several former associates of Diddy began speaking up in vague, cryptic messages, tweets like, "We knew," "We always knew," and "It's all coming out now." Lawyers representing Diddy issued a formal response within hours, calling the Maid's claims false, defamatory, and maliciously timed to coincide with unrelated legal proceedings. But the damage had already begun. News outlets picked up the story, talk shows debated its credibility, and fans were left questioning how much more might be buried, literally and figuratively, in Diddy's past. The Maid, for her part, says she's not seeking money or fame. She's speaking out because, in her words, someone has to. Her voice quivered slightly as she described years of uneasy moments. There were times I'd walk into a room and it would feel wrong, like the air itself was heavy, like something had just happened or something was about to. People would be crying or shaking or completely silent, just staring. I couldn't ask questions. We weren't allowed. She described a house where appearances were everything. Parties were thrown, celebrities smiled for the cameras, and lavish dinners were held in rooms that hours earlier had been the scene of chaos. "We cleaned it all," she said. "The wine stains, the broken furniture, the shattered glass, the walls were always repainted, the rugs replaced, but there's only so much you can cover up." Despite the fear she felt coming forward, the Maid said she had reached her limit. "I couldn't pretend anymore. Not when I think about the people who were hurt. Not when I think about what I saw thrown away like it didn't matter." She acknowledged that some people will never believe her, but insists she kept photos, journal entries, and receipts to back up her claims. "I don't need people to like me. I just want them to know the truth, even if it's ugly, especially if it's ugly." Now, with this new layer added to an already complicated narrative, the spotlight on Diddy has grown more intense. Investigators have reportedly reached out to the former Maid, seeking clarification and any supporting evidence she's willing to provide. The entertainment world is watching closely, wondering if her words will trigger a broader unraveling or be dismissed as another sensational story in a long list of celebrity scandals. But for her, this isn't a scandal, it's a reckoning. A chance to speak what she's held in for far too long. They say trash tells you everything about a person, she concluded, her voice steady. And if that's true, then what I found says more than I ever could.